Imagine if leadership and development was a uniting factor for people towards a certain achievement. When people set aside their political differences and affront a cause that will benefit everyone.
What does omuntu wa wansi see as development in Entebbe?
Mbuuza meya akyegana, tawunikiraka akyegana.
Who is the problem now?
Ensonga eno ejja kuggwa.
That is politics.
Era tetulina kyakulya n'ekya tekigenda kubaawo.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves. Good morning and thank you for joining us once again on this episode of Entebbe today. A Saturday that you should, or I should call a dark Saturday, given what has been going through, especially with the Kawempe North by-elections. For those of you that have been following trends, especially online, the journalists have regarded this week as a dark week. Many of them are still nursing wounds in the hospital, but also a lot has been going on in the country. Today we will strictly be talking about what happened in the Kawempe North by-election that has seen Council Nalukola elected the Member of Parliament representing that region. But that came at a price to pay for the journalists. Like I said, some are in the hospital. We want to also join the rest of the world to say journalism is not a crime. For our colleagues that are still in the hospitals, we want to say quick recovery to all of you. This morning, I am joined by two journalists who will, of course, be joining me in the conversation and to give their views and opinions regarding the fate of what happened and going forward as journalists, what should be done. On my extreme left is Piko Kawesa, who is a veteran writer. And now, I don't know, you have a lot of tags. I don't know which one I should front. But Piko Kawesa, thank you so much for joining me on Entebbe today.
Thank you. I'm welcome this morning.
Extreme right is Lawrence Mushabe, who is a correspondent with Next Media in Entebbe. Lawrence, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Ivan. Good morning to you and good morning to our viewer.
Would you call it a good morning in your sense of understanding as a journalist?
It's not a beautiful morning. It's a dark one. It's sad. It's a pity of whatever that has been going on in the country, especially in the Kawempe North by-elections. I, for one, I wouldn't be happy because I saw, I've seen, I've been at the front line. But what I can say, journalism is no crime.
You are the fourth estate.
It's no crime. Any country that is growing needs press freedom. We are penitent, we are passionate. This is our job. I wouldn't say as a journalist, you go to do your work of the day, end the day, bedridden, and walk away still smiling. I wouldn't smile. So it's so bad and it's unfortunate. A number of them, Raymond, Abubakar, Dennis, Asfa, it's a list and it's a bunch of guys. Francis, for me, I for one, it's a boring weekend.
Mushabe, would you fit in the shoes that they call us a fourth estate? You as a person.
I think that one is called, it is just a title as of now. But once again, I greet you. Thank you for hosting us again. And good morning to our viewer out there. The things that happened on Thursday morning were so hilarious. I, for one, couldn't hold back my tears. I kept on rolling on my cheeks, and I said, what's this? Francis, who is my close workmate, the other people, Raymond, Tamari, and so forth. I mean, it was unfortunate, it was uncalled for. Just to speak from my soul and the emotions. We are all here, those security operatives, some of them also have their sons and daughters, and most of them are also working. If you wake up one morning, because few of us, the young people, including most of the Ugandans, the majority of the youth are unemployed. The few are employed, you wake up one morning, you go to the field to go and work out for your life, for your family.
Exercise your duty.
Absolutely. And the reports to get back to your family is that you're hospitalized, you're down, you have wounds, you have injuries.
Broken.
I mean, it looks awkward. I saw how Francis was crying. I felt this environment is not safe. There are a couple of things that are characterized under security: the human security, the social security, the health of you as a person. They're all down. I mean, press freedom in this country, it constitutes the essential foundations of a democratic society. We are bound to, I mean, out of the 27,000 and more people in Kawempe who voted, journalists were below, I think, 20. Or, okay, 20 or 30. Why do you leave out, I mean, why do you leave out the other?
But for any other reason, was it called to make and cause chaos in a by-election?
We have seen this happen. We have already said it is uncalled for. It is not necessary. It is, you are just there as security operatives.
And also let me ask you, Pikoko, before I come back to you, Michelle. Do you think a by-election is a call for the army, not even the police, to take over and batter people? Just a by-election.
A by-election doesn't call for the army. It calls for police. So what I saw is excessive military manpower, gun robbery, brutalizing, whatever you can call it. Actually, 2 days ago in the campaign, I had the people were robbed even of mobile phones. That's theft, you know. It doesn't call for the army. It was too much excess. I don't know if it was a battlefield, I don't know. Because even it called for the number one citizen to campaign for some of the candidates in the race. But it's not called for the army to be in a democratic election.
Boshabe, these men in uniform must have been working under command. We have taken tea, we have played football with the army chiefs in the name of reconciliation. Is it still time we need reconciliation and an apology?
You see, Ivan, a mistake is realized for once. When you do that mistake for a second time, for the third time,
It ceases to be a mistake.
It ceases to be a mistake. It is intentional. In other words, what is happening is intentional, and we have no. It is now upon us to stand up, to get arms together, to have a collective voice, as the press, as journalists, to make sure this is put down. Because I mean, some time back we've seen these people arranging, they put those dinners to harmonize, to reconcile and whatever. But it has
Are we
not
being taken for cheap in that statement? You batter people, tomorrow you call them for dinner and apologize, that is okay. When people have broken limbs, we have guys that were beaten. We remember the Top TV journalist whose eye, I think, nearly got removed. Did you see the NBS guy who was buried before. I mean, the Spark TV camera person, Stephen Chibika, who is still in the hospital. And yesterday, the same thing. The statements were made on floor of Parliament. The Minister of Internal Affairs apologizing. The CDF came out and made a statement. What is the best interpretation you can give to this?
The best I can give to this, the way I've been seeing it and the way I saw it, is to put our tools down for a day or two, because it's so paining that at a critical time where you believe the state of government is taking action, all the time coming out saying we're sorry, that's not enough. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up, because you brutalize a man at work, damage his own equipment, no work done the whole day. Man is going to spend 3 weeks or more so time bedridden. It doesn't come out straight. It doesn't come out straight. So I feel it's time to say no is no.
Mushabe, are media houses prioritizing this campaign in your own understanding?
But anyway, Ivan, before I respond to that, let me just give this one very clear. I even laugh because you can shut down journalists right now, but journalism will stay here.
It will evolve every time.
That it will actually keep recording this. It will live to write the obituaries for these all the sins that are happening and whatsoever. So in other words, the things that this country and any other person shouldn't tamper with is the fourth estate. These people are here to record today what has been done, tomorrow, and what is happening.
The following. Okay. Let's take a quick commercial break. We will return and still discuss more of this way forward and insights. I was trying to connect with our colleague David Ijo, who is an NTV reporter, part of the people that were battered. When I establish that connection, we will be able to listen to the man's eye. But let's take a commercial break. We'll return shortly.
Travel to the adventure of a lifetime. Rare, beautiful, and precious. Embrace the unique, unforgettable, and extraordinary. Come and explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Lillian! Lily flower!
A small seed.
The cedar bus of beauty, the power bank of my heart, the sugar of my milk tea.
I'm glad you're here. Today buy for us some chicken.
No problem. You can eat whatever you want. I had already ordered. How much?
122.
122? Now, what if I take this one and this one? And can I also borrow this one? How much now?
When your money is not enough, don't hassle. We're Sotinge with MTN Momo. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *5# to add call with Momo Advance and pay.
Entebbe, the land of freshness, fresh breeze, fresh water, fresh weather, and fresh foods. Entebbe is not just the gateway to Uganda, but also fresh foods supplied from 81 Sese Islands in Lake Victoria. Fresh foods from the garden to Chitoro Market and straight to your home. Visit Chitoro Market in Entebbe, Uganda's first capital for all your fresh foods.
Okay, we'll be back from that commercial break. We're still here in the Media Lab in Entebbe discussing a lot to do with The violence that was exhibited against journalists in the Kawempe North by-election that saw Councillor Alukola being elected a member of parliament. Insights have been drawn, like I said earlier in the studios. We have Peacock Kawesa, who is a writer, veteran writer with Gateway News. I also have Lawrence Mushabe, who is a reporter with the Next Media. Gentlemen, before we went for a commercial break, we're looking at what should we do as press people and the media to avert all these shortcomings.
One, we should put government to task to give us an apology, and a great apology. But more so, we should come up with a strong voice as media practitioners or journalists in this country to say
enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Would you subscribe to that, Lawrence?
Absolutely. But my few things. One, I only want to comment about the kind of, I call them naysayers, the sadists I've seen, most especially on the internet, trying to, bring people off what happened. But I want to tell you, this is me today. It was Isano, Tamare, Raymond, Abubakar Boa. They were exercising, their duties. Tomorrow it is going to be you. You're just speaking because you lack the sense or the principles of how your duty should be exercised and your rights. Tomorrow it is going to be you, because these journalists have done no harm to this government. Francis
but also
is the official.
For purposes of justice, why don't we this time see the security arraign all these people that committed all these offenses in courts of law?
But Ivan, you're planning to arraign someone before court, but even a person who attacked a journalist, a person who was masked, he has
no. At least we know the car they used, and the commander must be, because some of these people were taken to police after. Did the police recognize who brought them?
The car
they
you're
have
talking
commanders.
about
For us,
plate.
we don't want to know that silly person who has removed even his name tag and has masked himself, because I am sure that is endurance. You cover yourself from morning to evening. But there is a one commander, because I know how the army operates. Who was commanding these people? Can that person produce them?
Because even you're speaking about even the vehicle that carried the people to the police station, that vehicle had no number plate.
You think no one had the command over it?
I am telling you, even the commanders, it is what, because we have seen these people. I remember some time back when they spoke about this thing, they agreed we should be dealing with these security personnel individually. But we have reached that extent, even what they agreed has never been implemented. You will even
But you remember what the CDF came out to say on Twitter?
That is confusion. It is total confusion. You're confusing Ugandans, you're confusing the common people, the workers who are on ground. You're confusing us. We need to see seriousness in this. We need to see implementation. We need to see these people being held accountable. Have you ever seen one? Ever since they issued that directive by the CDF? Don't you think he knows? Isn't he the CDF? So we have seen enough. We need to act. I am waiting to see the resolutions from our leaders who head these organizations, UJA and whatsoever. We need to have clear resolutions. I am happy yesterday I saw
a
press conference. They have agreed to first boycott all events of the security operatives, police, UPDF and whatsoever. It is not even enough. We boycott that. We also put now conditionalities. We need to see justice. We need to just look. A person holding a camera of millions and millions of money, you just smash it down. That's a tool. That's where someone gets his food for the family and whatsoever. It is really embarrassing.
Peacock, what should be the way forward? I am running out of time, producer says.
I personally, I would say can't swallow it anymore. We can say, as government is trying to, compose itself, to come up with an official statement. As media practitioners, we can hold it down and say no for some while, as we're trying to fill our hearts with soil. Then maybe at a later stage we can see how we can work out a better one.
How best can we, I'm giving each one of you 10 seconds, how best can we collect a voice together, stand as one, and when we say no, it is a no as journalists?
I think, Ivan, this the kind of effort starts from our kind of leadership as journalists. We have top organizations who aid us. We have, like now, Entebbe Journalists Association and so forth. I think from our kind of leadership, with the support from our, top people who
we have had the workers MP, EPD30. Are you trying to say it is time for us to also have the media MP or what in Parliament to represent our views?
I think also, it is also better, by the way, because here we are looking at a certain maybe it has failed now from the part of, mutual agreements that we've had. It has not worked very well with executive. It has not worked very well with the judiciary. It now has to go to the parliament. Now, maybe we handle it at that level. It is also a better priority to have a representative.
Would you subscribe to the take?
I would subscribe to that take because I see a lot is getting out of hand, and if we get a voice at the level of parliament, more so we could have a better working environment, better than before. But I think it's prudent enough that the media organizations we subscribe to, or media houses, or media agencies, add up a voice to have a boldness to come out with our own recommendations and give it a spotlight.
But Ivan will also talk about representation at the parliament level. But yesterday, it's very sad. I saw some of the members of parliament. I would not want to mention here. You see their remarks, and you feel,
Is it that the army is becoming too excessive with power? Is it that there is direct gun use for violence? How best, can you describe this?
But Ivan, let me speak this let me conceptualize it to my own understanding. The way back, the military, the police structure, those people we had with their rule of gun, with their way they used to use their guns, I slightly wanted to agree that in these years, we have at least a bit of the right rule of the gun. But now it has gone back to the history. We came to realize that the UPDF and the other armies that were working in the 1990s, we later on got people who are a bit revolutionarized, who are a bit okay. But it has become intense. We are seeing the history repeat itself. If you see people bringing an electric wire, hitting you.
But where do they get those wires? I've seen your meme in the recent. They were complaining about, vandalizing wires, and where does the UPDF get the wires they used to hit people?
If by the way you want to realize, because how I wish these people know that we are there for them. You see, that UPDF person, let me explain clearly to you. He has that wire. That wire, I'm sure you, me, even the people in the production who are manning this station have paid money
to buy it.
That UPDF officer who is beating, he has got shoes, he has got a gun, he has got his uniform he's putting on, and whatsoever that you contributed to. He's using it to harm you.
Are you trying to say he doesn't know his boys?
He doesn't know, absolutely. I just want you see that police person who is commanded to beat you. Actually, leave alone even his commander. Let him find you head to head. You beat him or someone else. He will go back. They are going even to chase him away from the army. Because he has been embarrassed on his job like he embarrassed this person. I just want to logically give it a try. They beat him on ground, he goes back crying. They will say you are not managing our role. You leave the army.
Anyway, for time reasons, gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming through to put your flair on this context. Unless you have something to say, people, but to have run out of time. I want to thank you for coming through to draw some insights onto this, and also Lawrence Mushabi. I want to thank you. I want to also thank you, the audience that have been watching this. We continue to say journalism is not a crime. I'm going to rally my fellow journalists in Entebbe. We will make a peaceful protest for a full week. We don't know how to hold the guns. We don't own even a panga, neither a stone, but we'll know how to do it. Good morning.
Imagine if leadership and development was a uniting factor for people towards a certain achievement. When people set aside their political differences and affront a cause that will benefit everyone.
What does omuntu wa wansi see as development in Entebbe?
Buuza meya akyegana. Tawunikiraka akyegana.
Who is the problem now?
Ensonga eno ejja kuggwa.
That is politics. Era tetulina kyakulya n'ekya tekigenda kubaawo.
Ate ne President Museveni bannanga akyali baby.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves.